I'm Awadhesh. I'm the Executive Director, GLIDA. Today when I am standing here, I feel very happy, proud and satisfied. On 7th July 2018, when we decided that we will start setting up the public charging network in India, we chose Hyderabad. Precisely on 7th July, and Mr. Rao from IOCL is here. He has retired from IOCL, but then he was instrumental in getting us the partnership, which helped us to set up the first public charging of our company. And we demonstrated the capability of that the charging can be done remotely. Mr. Rao would recall, and many of you probably if you would have participated at that point of time, which we held the event in ITC Kakatiya, that the charger was in Somajigoda, vehicle was connected in Somajigoda, but the charging was started by Mr. J.S. Ranjan through the mobile applications from the ITC Kakatiya. And that was the first time which we did in India, because at that point of time, people were not having confidence that this can be done remotely. Because we all are used to, on the petrol station and the diesel stations, going there on the stations physically and then connecting it, somebody is helping us to do it. From that day, and in these 6 years, now we have developed the largest public charging hub, not only ours, but to the best of my knowledge, of India's as well, as far as public charging is concerned, where anybody can walk in and charge. The 102 charging points close to airport in Hyderabad. So Hyderabad has a special place in our scheme of things. Obviously, because we chose Hyderabad because of the good partners like the IOCL and the location partners, the fleet partners, but also the proactive policies or the positive policies which enables setting up the charging stations. And whenever we had any issues, then the bureaucrats, the government officials, they were easy to accessible and they were always willing to help resolve those issues. Now, these charging stations, which many of you have seen just half an hour before, it has 102 charging points with ultra fast chargers which can deliver 160 kilowatt to 200 kilowatt. And it has 6 guns. This is again a charger which is done, one of its kind in India. Before this, we have set up in two more locations in our operations. But in Hyderabad, this is the first. It can charge 6 vehicles at same point of time. So it can charge Nexon as well, and it can charge BYD, it can charge BMW, it can charge EQS. Any electric car can be charged. Not only that, if the bus requires charging, this can also charge. But before, how did we reach there today where we are standing, is that in 2017, as when we started, when we demonstrated this one, post that in 2020, we set up India's first public charging network of 50 kilowatt CCS. So the charger which we had set up in 2018, that was 15 kilowatt charger, DC001, which was required for the vehicles at that point of time. Many of you recall that in Hyderabad we have Zoom car, E2O, or you had Mahindra, you have Mahindra EV car. So those were requiring 15 kilowatt or DC001. Now today, we are talking about 200 kilowatt charger. So that's the transition it has happened within Hyderabad city. And at that point of time, the CCS charger, which is now the standard protocol across the car manufacturers. So the first time in India, we set up the network with the partnership with the MG Motors. So they were launching ZS EV, and I remember it's 5th January 2020 when they launched the ZS EV in India. And we were their partner at the 5 dealership locations we had set up. And at that point of time also, we had brought in chargers from Australia. Because in India, the charging manufacturing was taking shape and people were more focusing on DC001 because that was the standard initially. And CCS manufacturing was just taking shape, so we were not having the much product available at that point of time. But we have always been believing that bring the good technology from Europe or the other part of the world, because EV is much more advanced compared to our country, and bring those technologies to this country, make it a case study for the charger manufacturers and the other stakeholders, and then they can be, I would say, motivated that they can bring this kind of a design. When I talk about these 200 kilowatt chargers, I'll share with you that how this has motivated some of the startups in Hyderabad to come up with a good prototype of these kind of a chargers. In 2021, we developed a fleet model, from the charging solutions point of view. So we have developed a fleet model which can help the fleet operators to manage their charging requirements efficiently. And in 2022, we launched our largest at that point of time, 50 charging points in a shopping mall in Bangalore. So on one floor, the entire parking has been converted into the electrified parking, and that's a 50 charging points. This has again AC as well as CCS chargers of 50 to 60 kilowatt and a DC001. Then in 2022, again, we partner with the DLF. So now across DLF properties across country, we set up our charging stations there, and primarily we are setting up a DC001, but then some of the locations also have the AC chargers. What we did in 2022 and 2023 was two revolutionary elements. See, so far many of the customers or many of the EV users, particularly the individual users, they would be aware that most of the charge point operators in India are having their closed loop wallet. They want you to deposit a minimum amount of 250 rupees, 500 rupees in their wallet. And only then you can start charging on their charging platform. And if you do, let's say you have done a 500 rupees wallet, now you start charging and you charge only for 200 rupees. Now that 300 rupees remain in that wallet. Unless you use it, this money is not going to come back to you, maybe years together. And if you have a 10 CPOs with such wallet, then your 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees get stuck. So when we were interacting with many of the EV users, they suggested that this is a pain point because we don't want our money to be blocked. So that's where we joined hand with NPCI and Pine Lab. So NPCI, as we all know, they are the promoter of the RuPay platform. RuPay is a counterpart of Visa and Master. So with the RuPay platform, we and the Pine Lab is most of the POS you will see on the petrol stations where you make the payment through the card and all. It's mostly the Pine Lab machines. So we joined hand with them. We curated this co-branded RuPay prepaid card. The advantage of this card is that you can do recharging of this wallet on your own. You can do up to 10,000 rupees by doing the min KYC, the minimum KYC as per the RBI requirement. In a month, you can do 10,000 rupees. But this 10,000 rupees belong to you. So if you come to GLIDA charging stations, you can use this card, make the payment, whatever amount of charging you require, and rest of the money remains with you. And you can use this card for making school fee, making subscriptions, making hotel bills. Anywhere you can use, because RuPay card is accepted now universally across India. So this is the advantage of the prepaid card. And again, this is an open loop, so you can use anywhere you want. Then in 2023, another revolutionary aspect which we have done. So far, all the CPOs are requiring, including us, is that you should either download our applications, mobile applications, and then register yourself and add your credit card or debit card for making the payments. Or you can get a RFID tag issued, right? So those RFID tag can be issued to you, and then you can use those RFID. So RFID tag would be like this, right? So you can use that one. So these are the two standard methods which normally the CPO gives to you. Now the challenge is that then you have to carry too many applications, too many mobile app or too many RFID tags. That's a pain point again. So that's where, because we come from a Nordic country, our history is from the Nordic country, and there the regulation is that as a charge point operator, you cannot deny offering the charging services if they are not using your applications. That's a regulation, that's a mandate by the government there. So we said that why can't we replicate that in India as well? Even though there is no regulation, such regulations. But from the customer's convenience point of view, this is something which is very much needed. So we came up with because in India we have a UPI. That's the most prominent methods of making the digital payment. So we came up with the product called Charge Through. So Charge Through is a product, it's nothing but a QR code. So on our each charging stations, you have a QR code. You scan the QR code with any camera, mobile camera. You don't have to have necessarily our applications for scanning this QR code. You can scan the QR code, it will take you to the payment page, you make the payments, and the charging starts. You don't have to download our applications, you don't have to download, make registrations. Just a one-time, mobile you have to give because you require a one-time password to verify your credentials. That's a requirement as per the central bank. So this is, to my best of knowledge, now people have started adopting it, but this is again the first time we started doing it. So our motto is basically to enhance the customer's experience at the charging stations. And in 2024, one thing also we did in 2023, that we rebranded ourselves from Fortum to GLIDA. So GLIDA is a word which is a Swedish word. So when we were doing all this journey in the e-mobility in India, and we were interacting continuously with the customers, we came to know that there are two pain points which is holding back the people. One is the lack of charging infrastructure, particularly the public charging infrastructure, and also the lack of right information. Many people do not have the information that how much time the battery takes for charging, whether it is a charger which is responsible for that one, whether charger can be safely done during the rain. If the rain happens, can we safely do the charging? Is it safe to do the charging? So all those informations probably is lacking. So we felt that, we decided our brand construct is that to enable EV user to move freely without any hesitation. Now we wanted to capture this word, that how we can capture this journey of this enabling movement without any hesitations. And then we came upon this word, GLIDA. In English doesn't mean anything. It's like Google. Google doesn't mean anything before Google become Google, all right? Because now you can say you are Googling, all right? So it has its own noun and verb. But in English, Google doesn't have any word, any meaning of that one. Similarly, the GLIDA in English doesn't have any meaning, but the Swedish, it has a meaning that glide seamlessly, to move freely, and that's where our brand stands for. And this we inaugurated, this brand we launched in 12th July 2023. So July has a special, again, significance. It holds a significance for us. From the first public charging to the brand relaunch to the largest public charging stations. And today, when we have unveiled or inaugurated the largest public charging stations, how it is giving us, I would say, all throughout this journey, we have been interacting with the startup ecosystems in Hyderabad. One of the startups which I would like to mention here is the Hail Cab. And I think the founder of the Hail Cab are here. I would request Harsh and Mujib if they can just wave hi to all, so that. So they are local entrepreneurs. They are doing good, and so we have a partnership with them, not only for utilization of the chargers. They are helping us find the locations also. But the good thing which they are doing, which I feel very satisfied, is that they are now coming up with a prototype of the charger where it will be similar kind of a charger which you have seen at our charging hubs. So that's the, I would recommend, and they are partnering with the T-Hub, right? T-Hub and T-Works. Currently it's a prototype. I have seen the picture. It looks nice. If it comes up as a prototype, I am sure they can be matched. And we have agreed with them that we'll be using, once they come up with the prototype, we'll be using in our facilities for testing, for giving them the inputs, the feedback, so that they can improve the product. And then ultimately, they'll be coming back to all of you with their charger product itself. So this is a moment for, I would say, satisfaction, that someone gets motivated by seeing this technology, and that's our motto, that we bring new technology, new innovations in the market, which enhances the customer's experience. At the same time, it also encourages the entrepreneurs to adopt those technology locally here also. Thank you, and hope to have a good charging at our charging stations also, because we also need business. Thank you.